Yeah, I think, when you're talking about finance, the first thing that comes to anybody's mind is like, it's really heavy.
Yeah.
It's not heavy. So at that point of time when I wanted to be pilot, my father said, fair, if you want to be, okay, no problem. But you decide what you want to be. Like, you want to be the driver or you want to be the owner for the driver. The world we are living in right now at this point of time is how, right now whatever things we are doing is impacting the other side of the world. It's just everything is interconnected.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to today's podcast. It's a very, very special podcast because we are going to talk about the most important aspect of our lives, which is finance. I think we all are always at the back of our mind thinking about planning our finances. So we have today a very, very special guest and a very, very close friend of mine. It's Trisha. She's been into finance for more than a decade and has an immense experience in the field. She's going to enlighten us today with a lot of tips as to how we can up our game in the finance market and make the most out of our earnings, the hard-earned money. So we can't wait to hear from you and get an insight.
First of all, thank you so much, Nehha, for having me here today. And yeah, I think, when you're talking about finance, the first thing that comes to anybody's mind is like, it's really heavy.
Yeah,
It's not heavy.
I have
It is
to
not,
agree.
no, it's not heavy. It's a very basic thing. I think it's a very basic life funda that finance has to be very complex. It's not that. It's one, it's one's mindset which makes it complex. So, if you want to have a life, what you've dreamt of, it's not that difficult to achieve. So I
Wow.
think, if you can understand and you can relate your, day-to-day routine life with finance,
You
you're-
got it.
Yes, you're definitely there. So, I started. So I was not from a finance background. First of all, let me tell you that.
Yeah, let's dig deep into your journey. Like, where did it begin and
So
how did-
as the usual household's story, I am born in a middle class family, and I started my career into basically I started with science actually. So I was actually a science student. Let me tell you that.
Wow.
Yeah, so as the families, they always insist, beta science karo.
Huh.
So,
We
I
all
started
face
with that.
Yeah.
But yes, of course, gradually, once I completed my 12th, I took up management. But again, there was a twist there. I didn't want to take up management. That was my father who pushed me into management.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to become a pilot.
What? That's a new tangent altogether.
So there's always new tangent. That's why I say right. Finance can come in your life at any point.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
so at that point of time when I wanted to be pilot, my father said, "Fair, if you want to be, okay, no problem. But you decide what you want to be. Like
Yeah.
you want to be the driver or you want to be the owner for the driver."
Oh.
I didn't understand. I
He had
really
you
did
there.
not understand what he really meant
Yeah.
because
You
we
must
were-
be what, 18 at that time?
I was just 18,
Yeah.
So then at 18 you just don't get that kind of vision,
Yeah,
You're
of
too
course.
short-sighted that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So fine. I mean, as obviously being an obedient child, you said, okay, fine, I'll do that.
Since I don't know where to go, I'll just go with
Yeah,
you.
I'll just go with whatever you say.
Yeah.
So I took up management. I
Okay.
did my management graduation from Mumbai University.
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, my first year went very hell because
Yeah.
being a science student,
To
shifting
like
to a
completely,
commerce
yeah.
background was a little difficult.
I'm sure.
But yes, after the first year, it was better. It was better. Over the years, then we completed.
So,
the graduation.
sorry, but
Yeah.
was it management in like which domain?
So it was a general management.
General. Okay, got
It was
it.
Bachelor of Management Studies, BMS.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we started, and when I completed my graduation, I again was clueless. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So everybody was, busy with doing MBA preparations,
Right.
CAT, CET, all a lot of the entrance exams.
Yeah.
I still wasn't clear enough.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
clueless.
Yeah.
I said, let me work for some time.
Sure.
That's when I started my first, job in Future Generali. That was an insurance company
Okay.
led by Kishore Biyani. So
Got it.
that's yeah. So I started. So I'll tell you, I started selling insurance policies.
Yeah, at that time it was on top, right? Like
Not
in
at
terms-
all, but
yeah.
still, not maybe that was one of the good instruments for maybe
True.
diversifying your funds. But I mean, it was still looked down upon.
Yeah.
Selling insurance policies
Yeah.
and getting calls from the insurance guys.
Yeah.
It was not looked up like in a very good way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that was kind of a challenge to me at that point of time.
Sure.
I said okay. So yeah, I worked. My boss was there. He pushed me a lot, motivated me a lot. So yeah, that's how I started my journey. And rest is rest is history actually. I joined after that. I joined ICICI Bank and
Okay.
in bank
Nice.
insurance. So yeah, that was a really complete change. Course of
Like
path.
a turning point.
Yeah, the turning point you can say because at that point of time, as we all know, the finance was just booming a lot, and the banking industry especially.
Of course.
So I got a taste of banking industry through insurance background.
Got it.
That's when I thought that finance can be.
Yeah. Like you got interested. Like
Yeah.
finally you felt that this is home.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
right,
felt
yeah.
I
So
belong
that's
here.
when I thought that finance can be a good way
Sure.
to to get there. It's still evolving in India, and we got a long way. And I was quite lucky enough because the company that I was working in, Future Group. Like our entire team shifted in ICICI. So my boss was the
okay.
same in ICICI. So it kind of helped me, being with the same bosses.
Yeah, of course. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
so-
of course during that time, Chanda Kochhar was at her top
Yeah,
in her
yeah.
career, and obviously she was like like an inspiration
yeah,
for a lot
this
of
power woman
Yes.
mentor.
That's when I decided that I will do my post graduation, my higher studies in finance.
Awesome. Yeah, you got your answer.
Yeah, I got my answer, but yes, of course, so I will, as a youngster, or if I were to, guide, students pursuing management or any graduation
Sure.
stream, they should always rather, they should work. At least for a year, they should work after graduation.
To kind of find the ground and know, like
Yes,
you did.
because there is a lot, when it comes to, India, Indian culture, when it comes to working right after graduation, they don't support a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parents
We
also
all
don't
have
sup-
faced it.
Yeah, we've all faced it. They just say that okay, fine, you've completed your graduation, but just do your masters
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So I think that's very wrong. Not wrong. It's just a personal opinion. But yes,
Sure.
once you work after graduation, there's a lot more exposure, and you're practically
Yeah.
concept right in place, and then
Yeah, I mean, you get room to explore, right? Because
Yes.
you're not jumping into.
you're not jumping in, and yes. So yeah, I did my masters in global finance.
While you were working with.
No, I quit my job after that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did my full-time
Mhm.
masters in global finance from Bombay Stock Exchange.
Wow.
So
Fancy.
So that was fancy. Yes, those days again, it was very fancy. The having landing up in a place in Dalal Street. Well, we've all heard of stories of Harshad Mehta and Big Shot scams and all. So yeah, it kind of gives you
Scary.
Scary. Yeah, you can say that it's kind of adrenaline rush.
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
It
yeah.
kind of give you a thrilling experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it started. So that was my first year at BSc, and
What a place to be.
what a place to be. And if you know, so those days, I think even our batch at that point of time was very new in BSc. Because
Okay.
the global finance was again a very new concept
I'm sure. Yeah.
that they had introduced in their.
This was which year, if you don't mind?
2013.
13, yeah.
13, yeah.
So it just began, like the onset of global.
The onset, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think the crypto, it started in 2009.
Yeah.
So a lot of things were changing and evolving.
Sure.
2013 post 2012. Your online boom of the
Trading.
trading, your other e-commerce websites,
Got it.
your trading. Lot of things changed.
Like from Flipkart days.
From Flipkart days,
Yeah.
So I would, if I were to say that we became lucky because if we were to stay in the same place in ICICI Bank, we had a very organic way of converting customers, because they used to visit the branch, right?
Of
so,
course.
Now everything is online, right?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
that
you don't need them, right?
you don't meet them. You don't need to meet them.
Yeah,
So
Wow.
so that was the turning point in 2013.
Sure.
So yeah, so we finished, and the students my batchmates from my program was basically everybody came with one single view to BSc, that we wanted to network.
Okay, that was the goal.
That was the goal for everybody because we
Okay.
had the first day of orientation as the college has the orientation program,
Right.
or the introduction welcome party of so the first question was asked to every one of us, that why did you join and what's your goal.
Yeah.
I think majority of us ended up telling we've heard a lot about BSc and we've come here to network. so
Very honestly and
very
innocently.
honestly, we said that we wanted to network. So again a big turning point.
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure.
Very big
Yeah.
turning point. So we learned about how world is actually one. It's not different. The world we are living in right now at this point of time is how right now whatever things we are doing is impacting the other side of the world. It's just everything is interconnected. Nothing is different.
Of course.
So we learnt about a lot in the global markets.
I'm sure. It's like an ocean of money, right? I mean, where all strings are kind of attached
Yes.
to the center.
Yes,
right?
yes. I mean,
Oh,
everything is interconnected. We are living in a very dynamic world. The news, the political news, the economic data, everything is impacting. It's either ways, It's,
Of course. Yeah.
So yeah.
That actually reminds me of Rockefellers. I've always been very intrigued about, because I happened to read an article on them. And is it true, like, I mean, when you entered BSc, you might have got this insight on, are they really the origin of banking and finance, like inventors of money? Or like, do you want to talk about a little on what role they have to play in this? Or
Not very well. You're talking about the
Rockefeller
family?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not aware.
Okay.
I'm not aware. I haven't done the research
Much on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. So, but yeah, please continue.
Yeah, I mean, so that was the start of the
Right.
the global finance term that we entered into,
Uh-huh.
and from there on, the first internship that I landed was actually Royal Bank of Scotland. So I did
Nice.
my
That's a brand.
yeah, that was a big brand to look forward to in those
Sure.
days again. But as you were moving forward, you started feeling that there are a lot of challenges in Indian industry. As happened, when I joined RBS in 2014 for the internship, By the time 2015 came, they're already wrapped up from.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So its private banking unit had already shut down. So they closed down all their,
So you relocated to Scotland, or was
No,
it
no, no.
branched out? Like what was? Where
No,
were
no.
you- yeah.
So all the Bombay offices, the only office was functioning was Delhi office. Rest offices were shut down for RBS. RBS was actually a good experience because again an international exposure was given to me on a good level.
Yeah.
So post that, as the usual thing goes, I got married
Okay.
in 2015, and then
Nice.
So basically post that, I started my own. We started basically. Me and my husband started our own company
Okay.
in stock market only.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
Yeah. So yes, the number game had begun. Back in 2015. So yeah, so there was a lot of things about back then. Till today, I hear that okay, fine, stock market is just a gamble.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's not a gamble. It's a pure study of analysis of a lot of things. It's just not. If you were to play like a gamble, yes, it is.
It could
If you're
be,
consistent towards it, if you have a goal set towards it, okay, fine, in a day I'm gonna do this, second day I'm gonna do this. If you go in a consistent manner towards it, it's definitely a business, and it's a big business. For country like India, I think we are a country with a population more than 130 crores. So I think
The
I
second
see
largest.
a tremendous opportunity because we have already surpassed Britain.
Of course.
We're the fifth largest economy, and now I see a huge potential here.
Yeah. Also, the youth population, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like more than 50%
Yeah.
is under the age of 45, which is again very, very prospective. So you're right.
Yeah.
I think that's why they predicted that India is the future.
India is
yeah.
definitely. I think
Yeah.
you look at Europe right now, even look at US. I think by far, so comparison made by 2025 we're going to lead.
Global dominance.
We're definitely there, and the youngsters being the major driven economy
Of course.
pushers and influencers.
Yeah.
I think it's the right time to guide them and channelize their energy into the sector.
Totally.
Hence
this beautiful conversation.
Right. So
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of especially these engineers also turning towards finance.
Yeah.
It is a kind of really enriching experience. You're
Sure.
definitely contributing towards India's economy
Mm.
in a way. There are definitely still today there are a lot of challenges.
It's a thick wall to enter, right? I mean, Indian government. It's
Yes.
difficult to.
Yeah. So when you're talking about even trading in stock market, a lot of rumors are there. People are not completely aware of it. There's no proper education.
Yeah.
There's no proper education towards it. I think at more and more these technical courses or programs should be introduced in India.
Yeah.
Especially even when you're talking about numbers and when it gets to women,
Yeah.
we get more
challenge.
we become more analytical towards our goal. Okay, fine. Women are the more savers.
Yeah.
Women are more savers of.
Although we have the shopaholic tag to us, but
Yeah.
I think under the line, I mean, we are kind of thinking saving.
Yeah. Right. So I think there I see a big opportunity coming our way that the housewives especially I think that's a bigger chunk in Indian market.
Even today.
Yeah. Whose energy can be channelized.
Yeah.
They're home. They don't know what to do.
Mm.
They have a very fixed view of doing things that let's say this husband's money, salary is coming in, where to put that money? It's either a very fixed view of having investing in the gold or real estate. These are the conventional methods. So I think there is definitely the third way, right? So
please go for it. Enlighten us with what all options have come up, like in today's time. The modern ways of investing.
So, when you're talking, there are two ways. Either you're a long-term investor or you're a trader. These two things, are very different. Different yet connected. Because the thought process fundamentally connects them both. Again, there are different ways, there are mutual funds, there's SIPs, standard investment plans. There's Forex, if it's a big thing, the big thing in the market. It's actually coming up. I would like to highlight Forex because it's kind of it's growing in India. There are there are a lot of challenges in Forex. So let me tell you, give you a brief on what is exactly Forex. Basically, it's like a platform where you're exchanging your currencies.
Got it.
Okay, you're selling one currency in exchange with the other.
So in case of Indians, it will be INR that you're exchanging with.
Yes.
So after the Scotland disaster, what next? Like, how did you navigate the journey ahead?
So so as I said that I got married after that, and we started our own company. So we were doing a complete portfolio management solutions for the clients.
Okay.
So we were doing the proper traditional way of managing the portfolio for clients.
Okay.